I'm Coach Molly Binetti, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on SportsLifeTalk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit him up. Look, you breaking next and you up next. Kings and queens go hard. Rising star on the big scene, make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat, don't settle for less. They put you through that test, your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, set, go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote. Chill.
SLT Nation! Welcome back to another fire episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next, a premier platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow. That's right. We're searching high and low, far and wide to find some rising stars in our communities, individuals who are doing big things and accomplishing what, KT?
Big dreams.
Big dreams, that's right. And today it is a million young ladies tucked in their beds who dream about the opportunities that this young lady below us can present. And what's more impressive is that she is going to be a major part of the movement of saving some of these young lives and even saving lives like myself. Today we're going to talk to you about the bodies. We're going to talk to you about sports performance. And what are we going to do? We went out to Championship, South Carolina, and we got you one of the dopest strength and conditioning coaches in America, Coach Molly Binetti, Director of Women's Basketball Sports Performance. How you doing today, Coach?
Man, I've never been hyped up like that before on an intro. I'm good though. I'm good. Happy to be here with you.
Hey, well, Coach, every time you go perform, I'm gonna come out. Hey, PLAE and Labs, y'all ain't never seen nobody like this before. Here we go.
I love it.
All right, Coach. Well, welcome to the show. I am your host, the mouth of the South, B. Jones, the OG, all things Louisiana. Mr. Yeet is in the building, and I'm rocking alongside my brother from another mother, the architect, the quiet storm. Shh. Coach KT. Kev, how you feeling today, man?
Oh, so you're giving me my official title as coach on this episode.
Whoa. Okay. Y'all rewind it. Y'all hit the little circle that's on the screen that says rewind 10 seconds. Hit it right now. I said Coach KT, not head coach.
So you doing me
Go
like
check
that.
the replay.
Well, Jones,
Check the
you know
replay.
what's funny about this episode? This is the first time that we've been to South Carolina, correct?
And you know what? That's crazy because we got Jolette Law Rock with us. We got some folks from South Carolina that's showing us some love. So, but it's time, man. We could. There was no way we were gonna keep doing this and not get our hands out there in South Carolina, man. There was just no possible way. So I'm super excited about this one. We hope y'all also buckle up for the next 30 minutes. We got a great story to tell y'all. But before we get to that story, we got to pay the bills. Sports Life Talk Nation, 2023 has been a blessing. And can you believe we are still only a little bit over the halfway mark? Guess what? We got over 100 episodes we got coming to you in the rest of this year. And we want you to stick around and be a part of this amazing movement. So on the count of three, South Carolina Championship caliber South Carolina Gamecock Nation, we need y'all to show us some love and help us out. And it's real easy. Won't cost you a penny. On the count of three, I'm a hoot and holler, and I need you to smash that subscribe button. Can they do that for me, Coach Binetti?
Oh yeah, the fans will show out.
All right, because I know there's no fan base like South Carolina, especially in women's basketball. So here we go. Let's do it like we true to it. 1, 2, 3. Boo! Welcome to the Sports Life Talk family, and we mean that with all of our hearts. We don't do fans. We don't do followers. We do family members around here. So if you are now part of that Sports Life Talk family, tap in, put some fire in the chat, put a pound in the chat, peace sign in the chat. Just let us know you're out there, South Carolina, and we appreciate you joining the family. But without further ado, I tried to plank. My goal was to plank for a minute before we came on the show. I got through about 6 seconds, and I said, hey, Molly just going by. She got everything I had. So here we go. We got on the show. We about to tell you a story, Coach Binetti. Are you ready for the Sports Life Talk initiation?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
So, BJ, you couldn't plank for a minute. I can't just let you go by a minute.
Kevin, Molly's gonna save my life on this episode. We're gonna talk some sports performances and body. So don't do that, brother. I'm trying to better myself. At least I tried to plank for 6 seconds, sir.
But you didn't give me my head coach title at the beginning, so you want me to feel sorry for you now. You know what? It ain't about us, B. Jones. Let's get back to the initiation. All right, coach. To initiate you into the SLT family, got to give us your top 5 music artists.
Oh man. Why is that such a hard decision? But no particular order. You can always find Drake, Zach Bryan. Got a little bit of everything. Just depends on the day. Luke Combs. Got to get some country in there. Adele. Adele is unbelievable. Okay, that's 4. And then 5. I got to go Brandy Carlisle. So I've got a little bit of everything in there. It depends on my mood.
So
you say you haven't heard? What was that?
Yeah, who's Brandy Carlisle?
She's more on the folk, indie side of things. Singer-songwriter. She'll do solo, but she also plays in a band. Incredible vocalist, but yeah, a little bit more folk indie Americana.
All right, coach. So we like to rank everybody's top 5, and the highest you can get is 5. Now, you brought some newness to the initiation as far as music. So, I mean, you're a champion. I can't give you anything less than 5. That would be just too disrespectful. So, B. Jones.
What up, cuz?
We're going to give her 10 for our top 5. Go ahead and give her 10.
I like that. See, you can't say that I didn't teach you guys anything. I introduced some new music.
Already.
Check it out.
We already salivating, coach. We already getting some gems. We got Brandy Carlisle. I've heard of Luke Combs. I need to check out some Luke Combs too.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to throw some country in there. I'm from Wisconsin, so it's just what we do.
All right. So who is your favorite superhero and why?
I mean, I got to go with Wonder Woman. I mean, just a badass all around. Obviously, physical prowess and strength, but I think just her strength of self and also just I think compassion, kindness, but just kind of the total package, but really just a badass.
So B. Jones, she's done plenty of planks. Have you seen some of her pictures on Instagram?
Yes, I have, sir. Yes, I have, sir. And as you can see, I chose the championship picture to put on the screen.
I just got 2 crunches in just then, B. Jones. I get better than you with that 6-second plank. All right, so since every good superhero needs their own theme music, what would your theme song be?
I mean, I take this question as what would my walkout song be, and for me, it's always been "𝐥 Gonna Give It to You" by DMX. Only like the first intro, just the intro, like 30 seconds.
That's how we live and listen.
Yeah, and he starts barking at you. As always, I listen to that song every game day. On my drive to the arena, whether we're home or away.
Yeah, Molly, what you be doing in the car? What you be doing? You be like, 𝐥 don't give it to you.
And I've got the thing turned up too. And I'll drive into our parking lot, and the parking attendant just waves, and he knows I'm ready to go.
All right, so if you could shadow anyone for a week and learn from them, they could be either dead or alive. Who would it be and why?
Man. Honestly, that's a really hard question, but I really do want to know what the president of the United States, or maybe Vice President Kamala Harris, what they do on a daily basis. Like, what does their day look like? What does their week look like? Because I've always I can't imagine. I can't even really fathom what that's like, but I think it would be so cool to just kind of be a fly on the wall and witness everything that goes on.
Yeah, I know it's crazy in the White House, so it's a lot of flies. It's a lot of flies.
Yeah. I know. Part of me wants to know, part of me doesn't want to know.
Yeah. How would your 10-year-old self react to what you're doing now?
My 33-year-old self still has to pinch myself. So I think she would think it was the coolest thing ever. I mean, I never in a million years thought that this would be my path, but literally every day I have a moment where I have to pinch myself, and really, really grateful to be in this position and just for the whole journey.
All right. Could Molly, the Hooper, play for your current head coach, Don Staley? And if so, why?
Skill wise, no, not a chance. Could I be coached by her and take it and like would I love to be coached by her? Absolutely. But skill wise, no, not a chance. But yes, I think I have the personality for it. I think I could take it, and I would love to just be developed by her because I see the impact that it has on all of our players.
All right, Coach. B and I, we're going to produce a movie centered around you. The only thing that we're missing is a lead actress. So who should we get to play you in the story of your life?
Missy Peregrine. She's the lead in Stick It, which is an old movie. But I think she was somebody I remember as a young, like I wanted to be her. I thought she was so cool. But I think personality wise and just like athletic, all of it kind of matches up. So I'd go with her.
All right, Coach. So this is probably the most important question I'm going to ask you during the initiation. Okay.
Oof. Bring it.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
When we come to South Carolina to check y'all out, what is that one food spot that B and I just have to go to?
Man, I could list off a lot, but I'm gonna. We were just talking about brunch, and we were just talking about breakfast, and I'm gonna give you all the best spot to go in town, and that is Cafe Strudel. They have something on the menu called Hangover Hash Browns, and they are unbelievable. I can't even describe them and do them justice, but without a doubt, Cafe Strudel, whatever you want.
Please try, because I'm already interested. Hash browns with what, cheese and
eggs? Hash browns on steroids. So it's like hash browns. There's cheese. You can get eggs. You can get bacon. They have banana peppers. There's a couple other things on there, and it's unbelievable. Cafe
Strudel. Sign them up, KT. Let's
go. Pancake. I mean, they've got it all. They've got it all, and there's always a line out the door. It's super popular. It's the place to go.
Yeah, B. Jones, that sounds absolutely amazing.
I'm trying to tell you. Goodness.
Well, I don't know. We can eat that and then go to a game, B. Jones. And that's going to be a little too much. A little too heavy on our stomachs.
We'll get there early. We'll go eat there. Then we go back to the hotel, take a nap. And then
you got to go to Halls. Then you got to go to Halls. Halls is the go-to after the game.
And then we'll let Molly take you and me through a workout. We'll get that all filmed up, and then we'll go to the game.
Well, that won't last long, so yeah, we don't have to worry about that. All right. So if you hit that subscribe button or thinking about doing so, please do, and leave us your top 5 music artists, your theme song, and your favorite superhero in the comments. And finally, go to our website, yougotnext.com, to learn more about us and our other members from our YouGotNext family members. I've screwed it up a lot, B. Jones. But now, let me turn it over to the man of the hour, Mr. B. Jones. So go ahead and take it away, bro.
Man, don't do that. I'm not the man. Molly is the truth, and this is going to be a crazy episode. But I got to start off because what is that? Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Where are you from? Where are you from? We've learned about. I promise y'all, coming to Sports Life Talk, you go get some geography in this thing because we finding out all of these cities across the country that we didn't even know existed, and so you got to tell us about Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's the hidden gem of the north there. Eau Claire. You were right the first time.
Eau Claire.
Yes. It means clear water. French name for clear water. It's really close actually to like Minneapolis. It's like not even an hour and a half from Minneapolis. So very west central Wisconsin. Grew up there. I mean, in most people's eyes, basically Canada. But I haven't lived in Wisconsin for a long time, but still represent the Midwest whenever I can. But it's a nice place.
Now, growing up, did you participate in a lot of different sports, or when did you become a sports junkie, or really more of a athletic junkie? A sports performance junkie. When did you fall in love with your craft?
Oh man. Okay. Well, sports junkie always played everything growing up. Played with the boys. Grew up with a bunch of boys playing every sport you can imagine in the neighborhood, and then at school, I had no idea what sports performance was, strength and conditioning, any of it. I knew I like to work out a little bit, as a high schooler. I worked out a little bit in college, but I really didn't know what it was until I got to college. And the head strength coach at Marquette came into one of my classes my freshman year, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. Thought maybe athletic training, thought maybe physical therapy, something along those lines. I knew I loved sports, but he did a presentation and it just like had me in awe. And so I ended up interviewing him for a project and then met him in the weight room to interview him. And he basically just opened his doors and said anytime I wanted to come check things out or observe, I was more than welcome. And I showed up the next morning at like 6 a.m. and had no idea what a career and performance looked like, or even what a strength coach really did. But I just kept showing up and interning and then just learning and figuring it out, and set my sights on being a Division I strength coach, and really just kind of took it and ran with it. And I thought the end goal was Division I full-time strength coach, and I ended up doing that when I was 23. And I was like, okay, what next? what next? So I had just been kind of riding the wave and just again kind of throwing myself into it fully and seeing where it took me.
Well, I'm gonna be real. Getting hired and being chose is an amazing feeling. But being hired and chose by Dawn Staley, we're talking about something different. We're talking about something that only a handful of people can really say they truly understand that feeling. So you got to try to tell it to us. Like, what does that mean? Because I read the article in which she described why she made that decision and stuff like that. But I mean, that's got to be an amazing accomplishment that you brag about, or at least evidently you're telling people. Like, I'm pinching myself still, but yeah. What is it like being chosen by Dawn Staley, and why do you think she selected you to be a part of this championship dynasty? Man,
yeah. Like I said before, like the pinch me moments are real still, going into my 6th year. It's crazy to think about. I was 28 when she hired me. So I was young. This was my first full-time, just basketball only position. So I'd worked with basketball previously, but this was really my first time being completely immersed in it. And so for her to trust me and believe that I could be the best, even when I wasn't there yet, and on day one to just give me full trust and autonomy to do my job and not try to step into my territory or tell me how she wanted me to do my job. I will forever be grateful for her for that, because I put a ton of pressure on myself to step into this role. And obviously coming into a program that just won a national championship, working for a Hall of Fame player and head coach, I mean, I put so much pressure on myself, and really learned through failure my first year. Not that I failed getting our players developed and ready to go, but just like I put so much pressure on myself that I just wasn't being myself and wasn't doing my job, at least what I believe, to my full ability. But she gave me the space to figure things out. And working for her has been the biggest learning opportunity, and part of the reason I wanted to come here, not just to work with our team, but to learn from her, just what it means to be a woman who's leading the charge, what it means to, what I could learn from her just about coaching in general has been, so many opportunities I've had. It's just been incredible. There really are no words for it, but she's such a great ambassador for our game, for women everywhere in sport, for women just in general. So yeah, I am forever indebted to her for giving me a shot and just trusting that I could do it. And, here we are, almost 6 years later, and we have a great relationship. And again, we've obviously had a lot of success together.
Well, I tell you what, Kevin and I, the title, our group, our organization's name is Sports Life Talk. The name of the shows you got next, but Sports Life Talk was specifically, we came up with that name because we want to talk sports. We sports junkies, we love them, but there's also another side of this thing, right? It's the people. And yeah, we all know Aaliyah Boston and Alicia Gray and Asia Wilson and 𝐤𝐨𝐬 and all of these big names that's coming out. And I'm sorry for all you amazing All-Americans that I didn't, Raven Johnson. We know who y'all are, but the point I'm trying to make is that nobody runs around the country talking about Molly Binetti, right? But you play such an influential part in this in this amazing performance. What is that like to get to work with so many like awesome All-American championship caliber athletes, and not just working with them, but you're actually improving them day to day? You finding ways to become incremental better, even if it's just a millimeter, even if it's just a second, even if it's just a pound or an inch, the smallest measurements, you're taking them from good to great. Tell us, what is that like on a day-to-day basis?
Man, I have so much fun with my job every single day. And I think what's awesome is that obviously we get really good basketball players, but we also get really, really great kids and great people. and they spend more time with me than anybody on our staff throughout the course of the year, especially right now in summer and off season. They see me more than they probably like to, but I never take that chance or that opportunity for granted. In terms of my favorite part of my job is obviously developing them as athletes is cool and that's fun. But honestly, that's kind of the easy part. My favorite part is meeting them where they're at and helping them develop as people and as leaders on our team, and to prepare them and help equip them with skills that are going to transcend, what we do in the weight room and on the court. And so I think, the thing that makes me most proud is seeing our players now that have left our program and are pros, whether that's playing in the W or playing overseas or in whatever endeavor they're doing now, is they've got the skills and they're prepared and they know how to navigate, what life throws at them. So that's truly the best part of it. And I think the best way to sum it up is like these players just give me a lot of joy. They make things really fun. Yes, it's challenging. We go through good, the bad, the ugly together. But that's the best part of it. Basketball is obviously fun. Winning is fun. Winning with them is a lot of fun, but seeing them win as people, even better.
Well, you talk about the best part is the fun, right? Reading about you sounds like that's what you bring to the table. It sounds like you find very creative ways to introduce new workouts and to challenge the young ladies. Where does that come from? Is that, the knowledge of the world doubles every 3 years, right? So there's clearly some unconventional or new techniques that you've kind of manifested or brought to the team. Where do you get that from? Do you just read about it? Do you just create the stuff in your mind? Or how do you create these creative workouts to get the kids excited?
Yeah, I think a little of both. I think it comes from these guys don't come here to lift weights. They come here to play basketball. And so keeping that in the forefront and understanding that not everybody loves the weight room. And so I want this to be an environment that they want to be a part of. And I want it to be an environment that, we create a partnership and that they get to help kind of design their experience in here. And I think when you can think outside the box a little bit. And I think my brain works in a little bit different ways than a lot of people's in terms of where some of this stuff comes from. If we can introduce a way for them to have some fun with it, to have a little autonomy in how they're training, the effort that you get from them and just their desire to be a part of what you're doing and really buy in, really just increases exponentially. So it definitely requires some creativity. I think, I spend a lot of time just figuring out ways to design our environment to be fun, for them to train in different ways. And obviously when they start seeing results, then that buy-in just gets greater and greater. And then you can continue to find different ways to make them better. But yeah, it all starts with just the environment. I want them to be comfortable in here. They know that I'm going to challenge them and push them to grow, but they also know that they can trust me and that I have their best interests in mind.
Now, have you ever heard of the term mind over matter?
Oh, yeah.
That's the old school I come from. Mind over matter.
Yeah.
And we all know when people think of your job, they think strength coach or performance coach. They think, like you just said, weight room, track, whatever you're trying to get to. But how much of the whole sports performance is mental? That's why I want to know. I want to know, how do you look at a young lady and you could just tell, today, I'm not going to get 200 pounds out. And I'm just throwing off arbitrary numbers. Today, I might only be able to get 160, but I want to get 160 with 10 reps or whatever. How do you do that mind over matter? How do you help them to mentally perform so that they can take their body to that next level?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest part of it. We look at performance, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, all of it. And so I think we talk a lot about pro habits in our program. That is, one of Coach Staley's big things. When we talk about what we want to create, we obviously want to win and we want to develop pros. And that starts with pro habits. So the biggest one that determines someone's success is just consistency. Knowing that you don't have to be consistently great every day, but you do have to be consistently good. So, I spend so much time around our players that when they just walk in the door, I can tell what kind of day they're having and how they're feeling. And so having that relationship first of understanding each other, knowing them and being able to trust that they're going to be honest with me, and knowing that they can be honest with me and that we're going to make adjustments based on how they're doing every day, allows us to still get in really good quality work every day. Even if it's not breaking records and lifting heavy and doing all of those things, it's still okay, what are we going to get the most out of today? And then just having conversations about it. And they know that, again, I'm going to listen to them. We're still going to work and we're still going to push, but they know that just showing up and being disciplined and really not letting how they feel get in the way of what we have to get done today. And that's one of the biggest, I think, aspects of why we've been so successful, is that we show up consistently in the weight room. We show up consistently on the court, and it's just work. And it's adjusting it, but it's still just understanding that you're going to feel good on very few days. But let's still get done what we need to get done.
That's my excuse, Coach. I don't feel good today.
Right? We let how we feel get in the way of what we got to do. Can't let it happen.
Coach, let's talk about something serious for a second, because one of the most emotional moments of the last couple of years is when Dawn Staley went to that pedestal and she said, "Hey, we're not bullies. We don't go on bar fights." It was an epic interview. It gave chills down my spine. One part of me is crying. Other part of me is like, I'm so glad that somebody's saying this. But when they make these comments, when these people make these comments like this, they don't realize that they also talking about people like Molly Binetti, right? You family, you part of this organization. What were your thoughts? So how do you process all of this stuff and some of the hate that goes on against the South Carolina Gamecocks? How do you process this, and how do you help those young ladies process it? Because I know they're looking at you like, can you believe this, Coach Binetti? Like, this is how they treating us. This is what they saying about us.
Right. Yeah, man, you're right. I think there's been so many moments over the past few years where, despite all of our success and all of it, there's still, our players don't get the respect, our program, our coaches don't get the respect that, that we've earned. And I think that's, we've always operated from a place of, we're going to make them talk about us, and we're going to make them talk about us in a good way. And I think our players the dialogue that we have internally, and allowing our players to share how they experience things and what's on their mind, and just being open. And I think just having that open dialogue that comes from Coach Staley, and having a space in here with me of just sharing some of those things. And I think at the end of the day, everybody that's within our organization or close to our organization is super proud of, despite anything, despite losing this year in the Final Four, whatever it is, like, our players have always handled themselves, and our program has always handled ourselves with class and grace, and they've lost with grace. They are respectful, all of it. And I think when it comes to winning, we might not win every game, but we're winning because we still handle, no matter what it is thrown at us, we handle it in that way. And I think our players know that that's the only thing that matters, is what they think of themselves, is what we think of them, is what, them knowing who they are and being strong and standing firm in that. We give them space to process all of it. Is it fair? No. But I think, the love that we have in our program is real. Just the realness and genuineness of everybody in our program allows them to still be okay with everything, because they know that they're still winning.
Well, Coach, you said we don't win every game. I was like, well, damn sure y'all come close.
It doesn't happen often, but
when y'all lost, I know you ain't talking about the Final Four. They don't count as no loss. Y'all was in the Final Four. Come on now. All right, Coach. Last question I got for you. I know the producers are like, hey man, we got to get out of here. All right, but listen, last question I got for you. Kevin and I, we get the opportunity to have a lot of young athletes on the show, a lot of All-Americans, some not so much All-Americans, but also a lot of these kids are class of 27, class of 28, and they are just not really coming into their bodies. They don't have the access, right, of having a Molly Binetti at their local high school or middle school. They don't have, they don't have the resources to go down to a nice $1 million facility and go to work out and lift weights with all of these different programs. What would you say as these young ladies watch this show to learn more about South Carolina and their performance program? What advice would you tell these 25, 26, 27, 28 young ladies that they can, and even young men too, because you guys, y'all can listen to this gyms as well. What would you say to them as to how they need to approach developing their bodies to prepare them for that next level, which is going to take a high level of performance from their bodies?
Right. That's a great question. I think you hear a lot of talk about the increase in injury rates, especially amongst young females. And that comes from exactly like you said, is that young women don't have access to training, high quality training, facilities, strength conditioning at as young of ages as typically males do. They typically get involved in training of some sort earlier than females. And that's really the number one reason for that spike in injuries. And you hear about, obviously, in basketball, the ACLs and things like that. So the good news is that at high schools and younger ages now, there are a lot more resources that are becoming available. So in any way, even if it honestly is finding ways to train at home, there is a lot of resources available on the internet. Not that I'm saying that's my number one recommendation, but if you don't have a facility, if you don't have something like that, any way that you can do something to strengthen your body leading up to when you get to high school is only going to help reduce the risk. You can't ever prevent it, but reduce the risk and get you prepared for that next level, whether it's in high school or if you're hoping to play college. So sometimes you might have to be a little creative and proactive about finding those resources for free on the internet. If you can work out at your high school, or if you can hire a trainer, if you can find somebody in your corner to help train you, the more you can do that and expose yourself to that, the better. That's my number one piece of advice. And I think the earlier we can see some of these young females getting some access to training, not that we're ever going to see injuries go away, but that number will continuously, hopefully, go down.
Water and stretching, that's my advice. All right, here we go. Look, she like, that's some bad advice, y'all.
Don't listen to this guy.
Yeah, please don't listen to me. Y'all all be calling me up. Hey, we were drinking all this water. No, I'm just messing with you. All right, coach. Here we go. It is the fun part of the show. We call it the championship rounds. Welcome to the championship rounds, coach. This is the part where you are now officially calling all the shots. And look, KT perked up. You know, he got all excited about this because now we're about to do a little one-on-one. Have you ever played Would You Rather or the game This or That, coach?
Yes.
All right, so Kevin and I, we all about our fun games. And so here we go. Both KT and I are going to make a pitch to you. And whichever one of those scenarios you select, that host will gain a point. The first host to get 2 points or the best out of 3 will win this episode's game of championship rounds. Okay, coach? And yep. KT is the defending champion. He's also donning the maroon and white. He went all out for this one, coach. So
you got to get it right though. It's garnet. That's
garnet. Oh,
yeah, not maroon. We don't say maroon
hey,
around here.
Please don't slide my comments on that one. I'm sorry. Garnet and white. All right. So so Kevin, I'm gonna let you kick this one out, brother. Let's go.
And you also forgot the part where I'm the one that got her on the show.
And that doesn't matter. Right, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Keep going.
Reach out to her. This wouldn't be happening right now. All right, coach. Would you rather have a shoe made by Nike named after you and the proceeds go to multiple athletic scholarships in your name, or would you rather have a series of gyms that are located across the country in which kids can come work out for free, giving them the access to some giving them the access to some high innovative technologies that will allow them to work out like the champions?
I'm going to have to go with the latter on that one. Having gyms across the country would be dope.
Yo, you don't want the Nike shoes, though?
I don't know if I can say that out loud. I've been at an Under Armour school. I don't think so. No, I want some gyms. I want the gyms.
That feels so good. All right, here we go. Round number 2. Would you rather have Netflix come into South Carolina and film you guys for one season, kind of behind the scenes type look at that amazing program and it's the good, the bad, and ugly, coach. We ain't just gonna show it like it's a recruitment video. It's gonna really show you guys when y'all wake up and brushing your teeth to go into bed, or
travel the world hosting your own food show on ESPNW, where you and the South Carolina coaching staff interview college coaches as they take you to their favorite places to eat in the towns that they coach in.
Ooh. I'm a bit of a foodie, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit of a foodie, so I might have to go with that one.
All right, coach. Round. That was the wrong answer, coach. We were supposed to sweep this thing. Come on, I got Netflix on the side.
You bring food into the mix. It's It's game
All
over.
deals off, huh? All bets off. All right, KT, final round.
All right, on our show, which you can watch Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central Time, right here on our YouTube channel, we have a segment. Well, B. Jones presents a segment called The Drop. And on The Drop, he presents shoes that he feels are worthy of your financial donations. So for round number 3, Coach, we're going to present a shoe to you. Whichever one you pick has huge ramifications because that host will win this episode's game. So I'm going to count down from 3, and I need for you to say, hold that sneaker. And then once you do that, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Hold that sneaker. Ooh. I gotta go with you, KT.
Coach, these is Marquette's.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
I had to look up Marquette colors for this one, Coach. Oh.
I can't help it.
And still
That belt, okay.
champion. I know, look at it, Coach. You know what? When we come down there, I'm going to make sure that you get a picture with this because of you, I get to keep it. So B. Jones, remind me to put it in my bag so when we go to South Carolina, I can, let Coach do her thing.
Please.
All right, man. All right, Coach. That was a tough one. That was a tough one to take a L on because I was for sure I had it after winning round
My bad,
one.
B.
It's okay. It's okay.
No apologies. Okay. No, we're not apologizing.
All right, Coach. Final bits of conversation. We're gonna get y'all out of here. The title of the show is You Got Next, Coach. You got to tell us now. You at a young age of 33. You've been doing this for a while. You got championships. You know all the best players in the world at this stage in the game. What's next for you, Coach? What's up for Molly Binetti?
Man, as maybe cliche as it sounds, I think for me, it's always been about just trying to be where my feet are. And I think we've got a fun challenge ahead of us, a new identity maybe for our team. So I'm really focused on that right now, being here, being present, leaving this place better than I found it. But I'm excited for what's next for our program, being slept on a little bit and continuing to develop players and people and, again, competing for championships.
That sounds like one of the most dangerous things ever. Like South Carolina Gamecocks are running around looking at each other like they don't believe in us. We got something to prove. And that is scary. I'm telling you, I'm nervous. Get out. Y'all about to wreak havoc on the college landscape. All right, Coach. Well, you know what? I didn't announce this earlier, but we've had a couple of strength and conditioning coaches, one for football. I think one was a championship football coach at Alabama. We've also had a Florida coach, which they ain't won nothing in a minute. But now we got you on here. Are there a lot of women in the game? And my last question would be, what advice would you give, or how would you mentor, or what would you say to all of the up and coming strength and conditioning coaches that want to follow in Molly Binetti's footsteps? What advice would you give them to help get their careers going?
Yeah, to answer the first part of your question, there are more women in the game now than there ever have been, which is a good thing. It's still a really small percentage of the total population. And I think the biggest piece of advice I've ever given anyone is, there's been a lot of people before us that blaze the path, but the best way forward, I think, is just continuously being yourself and being authentic to who you are and kind of blazing your own trail. And I think there's a lot of pressure, especially as women, to kind of fit the mold and fit a certain stereotype of what being a strength coach is. You see a lot of strength coaches on social media kind of displaying this certain type of personality or this bravado or things like that. And I think sometimes it's hard to navigate when you have a different personality or you just don't fit the mold. So I always tell people just continuously to be true to who they are, coach in a way that is genuine, and just don't be afraid to say yes to opportunities that you might not feel like you are ready for or qualified for, but just continuously just saying yes and kind of taking those risks. And, for me, there's been no shortage of opportunities and things that have come my way just by doing those two things, just being me and saying yes and figuring it out as I went. So I think that's one of my favorite parts of my job too, is being able to help mentor and help other women navigate their careers in this field, because there's not a lot of us. So just being able to share experiences and just being honest and helping them figure it out, and then just helping them get opportunities to be in rooms and have a seat at the table is, again, it's a super rewarding part of it.
All right, Coach, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Man, there's a lot. I feel like there's, we're all products of the people that have helped us. Obviously, my mom is somebody that I watched raise me as a single mom, dealing with things that I never even knew about, but always just showed up and raised me to just be strong and to love people. So I think she's number one in my book. And then any coach that has ever helped mentor me along my way, there's really too many to name here. I'm grateful for all of it. I've had a lot of people in my corner from day one, and I would no doubt not be here if it weren't for them.
All right, so this is the part of the show where you get a chance to call the person that you think should have next. Tell them, hey, I got a chance to rock with B. Jones and KT. I told them my story. I want you to do the same thing. With that said, Coach, who are you calling out? Who should have next?
Yeah, I've got it. I got to give next to Megan Young. Megan Young. She is currently with the Seattle Sounders, working in the MLS. Wide variety of experiences, really cool stories to share. Cancer survivor, incredible human. Mind works in ways that, is pretty rare. So that's mine.
All right, Megan Young, I'm gonna get at least a 10 to 15 second plank before you get on the show. You are officially on the clock. Thanks to Coach Molly Binetti, your ticket has been punched, and we're gonna be reaching out to you so we can learn more about you and hear you share your amazing journey with us, because that sounded sensational, Kevin. I don't know. I'm super excited about that. Coach, we're going to be reaching out to you, but Coach Molly Binetti, you got next. Hey, you a trailblazer. You an icon. I love your energy. I love what you bring to the game. I can tell that you are super passionate and just that you got a very magnetic vibe about you. I know we would love to hang out with you. You're super authentic. You are extraordinary and elite. You deserve a yeet. SportsLifeTalk Nation. Man, I wish I could sing some Luke Combs right now. Coach, sing us a little Luke Combs. Sing.
No, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that.
No, we ain't even gonna go there.
I can't ruin it.
Oh, no, you wouldn't ruin it. You would do great, because I know it can't nobody on here sing no Adele, so I'm going to leave Adele alone. But y'all don't forget, go follow, like, subscribe, do all of that jazz, which we don't care about the numbers. We care about you, but we also care about these amazing stories. We want to keep that exposure going. So please, at SportsLifeTalk, all one word, on all of your social media. We promise you we're going to deliver you some great content each and every day. New stories are coming out almost every other day, new episodes, and we still, like I said, we got on the books right now probably 130 to 140 episodes yet to be recorded in 2023. So I'm telling y'all, the lineup is crazy. We got some big names, some monsters. We got some up and comers, phenoms. Oh, Kevin, the goosebumps just come up on my arm every time I think about this amazing job. And don't forget, listen, if you're sitting there, you like man, I got to get on the show. Somebody plug me in. Who could get me on the show? You could get yourself on the show. All you got to do is go to our website, yougotnext.com. Go to the nominations tab, and there you would be able to tell us about yourself or someone that you think deserves to have next and to come on the show. And we would love to reach out to them, connect with them, and learn a little bit more and audition them for the show. So yougotnext.com, and tell us who you are and come hang out with us. And then lastly, Wednesday night. Speaking of hanging, we hang out every Wednesday night. We go live. This is a one-way recording, right? So you're sitting there, you're working out, you're cooking, you're doing your job, and you're listening to us talk. But on Wednesday nights, you can actually be a part of the banter. You can come on and come in the chat, and you can roast KT for some of his horrible takes about his Dallas Cowboys, or you can celebrate with me about some of my amazing takes. All right. So Wednesday night at 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we go live for about probably 60 to 70 minutes, nothing more than that. So we would love to have you to be a part of the Sports Life Talk family at that time. But Kevin, I'm still a little distraught. I know all the Marquette fans out there. I'm sorry. I tried to represent, you know what I'm saying? But that didn't go well for me, as I've lost my third show in a row. So y'all please.
The ones, man.
I know. But I don't know, man. I'm still hurt about it. All right, well, listen, y'all come watch the next episode. What's Coach Young? When Coach Young, I'm guaranteeing a W. Coach Young, get on there. I'm guaranteeing a W because I got some heat I'm gonna bring out. KT, close us out, man. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Are you done talking so I can close us out? You said a lot just then, man. I just want to make sure. You got anything else you want to say?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Let me cut you off then. All right, Coach. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Whatever you need from us, please let us know, and we got your back.
No, I appreciate y'all having me on. Appreciate your energy, and look forward to having y'all down in Columbia.
All right, Coach, you on the way to the game. Dun, 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 dun. That's how we do it. Listen. Sports Life Talk Nation, we love y'all. Stay safe, be blessed, respect each other, and love one another, because together we are better. And keep dreaming big, because you never know. Your story may be the next one featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet!
It was crazy. I knew you had next, cause you always working, you always grinding, you're in your bag cause you're always working. Like in due time, I knew you got next. Oh, you did it, huh? Crack the code. You got next, you smashing goals. You want next, you need exposure. Well, Sports Like Talk got the baddest show, like the baddest. Hut in the room, podcast to tune into just for you to talk your shit. Talk your mushroom, you are what you eat and you should consume. Sports Like Talk from the late night to the afternoon, then rest repeat. Hit the like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You got next is a small taste of a winning meal from a chef type of celebrity. What's up next is you, at least you better be. Yeah, you got next, yeah. I can feel it, you're a winner just like me. You got next, and what comes next? Tune in next time and you'll see. Cause if you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you're just like me. If you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you know where to be. I'm talking Sports Life, talking this. Yeah. Sports Life, talking this.